stuff what we want. I'm from the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma and Mississippi. And I was personally forcibly removed from my family at 2.5 years old, and put on a train from Oklahoma and shipped to Vancouver, Washington, where my 6 brothers and sisters and I, in the winter of 1958, were adopted into white homes to be indoctrinated and to continue the process of assimilation for Native American children, especially children who are half-breed, we called us at the time, because they really didn't want us being raised in our Native culture. So when I was 13, I left there to go find my family, and I hitchhiked around the country 6 times and finally met everybody and took back my culture. And I've been doing it ever since. They kept catching me and flying me back and locking me up, and then I'd run away again, and they chased me down and fly me back and lock me up. But I eventually met all my family and took back my culture. I learned how to do beading at that age from my grandmother, who was still alive at the time. And then started learning more about these ceremonies. And life in general is kind of a one ceremony after another. And when you look at what you do, and if you do it with joy, you know, the laundry becomes a ceremony, and the dishes become a ceremony, and nursing becomes a ceremony. And then there are all these different ways. The Jesus way, we all know about the Jesus way if you're a Christian. And then there's the beauty way, and the blessing way, and all these different other ceremonies that are just wonderful to be a part of your life. And if you don't know them, it's fine. Invent your own ceremonies, you know, find ways to enrich your children by having them invent ceremonies, you know, something that gives them a feeling, a more of a deep feeling of their spirit, which is interpreted, as I understand, as mind, will, and emotions. So your spirit is the thinking, feeling, and motivating part of a human being. It's not something ethereal that lives on after you. I think that's a soul. Your spirit, a spirited horse jumps and kicks his heels up, you know. A spirited woman talks back. You know, the spirit is a different kind of thing than I think people mean it to be. It's how you think, how you feel, and what motivates you. That's a spiritual event. So if you're in love, that's an emotional event. That's a spiritual event. If you're angry, that's a spiritual event. It may not be a positive spiritual event, but it is a spiritual event nonetheless. If you're frustrated, you know, you can list all kinds of emotions. Your willingness to do something or not do something is a spiritual event. Saying no when you feel like you're being pressured is a spiritual event, because all these things are moving to our emotions and to our psyche. So that's what's important. Music is a spiritual event. If